Welcome to the video, everyone. This is a wonderful debate between John Lennox and Michael Ruse. I've watched a fair amount of these, and I would like to quickly share that I've noticed as a common tactic of those defending the atheist position that they are trying to make fun of the other side, downplay the arguments they make, and act all condescending. Let's see what Michael Ruse and John Lennox have to say, and then I'll come back and comment on that.
I am not that keen on natural theology at that sort of way. I think that religious belief, certainly Christian belief, should be based on faith. I'm with Cardinal Newman on this. He said, I believe in design because I believe in God. I do not believe in God because I believe in design. So
we see the argument being brought up here that Christianity should be purely based on belief, when the available evidence is overwhelmingly in favor of the opposite. There's historical evidence for the life of Jesus Christ and what he did. Christian martyrs were willingly dying for the truth they knew.
It's quite clear that Michael and I differ fundamentally on what we mean by faith. Because you see, faith to me is part and parcel of my life as an intellectual and a scientist. Scientists believe certain things. I believe in the theory of gravitational attraction. Why is that? Because I've evidence for it. I believe that my wife loves me. Why? Because I've evidence for it. And my Christian faith consists not in faith as a leap into the unknown. It's evidence-based commitment. Otherwise, I wouldn't be remotely interested in Christianity. And I notice that Richard Dawkins' faith is heavily evidence-based. That's why he writes a 400-page book called The God Delusion. So I think we've a fundamental difference about faith. And secondly, I didn't use the word proof, Michael. I'm too much a mathematician to use the word proof. I think it's a question of evidence. It's very interesting to me that when Paul talks about the impact of the universe, he says that the existence of God and his power are perceived through the things that are made.
I'll just quickly quote two verses from the Bible. Romans 1 verse 20. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Psalms 19 verses 4 through 5. Their wine is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiced as a strong man to run a race.
It's a perception, and what intrigues me is that perception is admitted by so many people that you would think would not admit it. Dawkins says it's terribly tempting to believe that it's design. Stephen Hawking co-authors a book called The Grand Design. Why? Because he sees design. And then there comes all the arguments that I don't find convincing to say, well, it's not real design, it's only apparent design. So that's the first thing.
well, if it is design, then you've got some questions to ask about the nature of the designer. I mean, you know, the Richard Dawkins type questions. Well, who designed God? I mean, and you're going to have to say something like, well, no, God is a necessary being. And that's going to get you into, I'm not saying insoluble questions to do with the nature of existence, but at least some. I mean,
Michael Ruse is asking questions about God, completely dismissing the fact that many great minds have done that throughout human history. He is not the first nor the last to do so, but are his questions valid? The truth is, God is uncreated. He is, and he has always been. It's true, and it's certainly easier to agree that a timeless, infinite creator created the universe than it is to believe that nothing produced everything.
Who designed the designer? And Richard Dawkins put that to me, and it's the heart of the God delusion argument. If you say God created the universe, then you have to ask, who created God? Well, do you? Because if you ask the question, who or what created X, then you're assuming that X was created. But the biblical God wasn't created, so the question doesn't even apply to him. So it's one of these questions that you think is asking something seriously important, but it misses the point. And I actually put it to Dawkins in the end. I said, your question makes no sense apart from about created things. But I don't need you to tell me that created gods are a delusion. Most of us think they are. We call them idols. But I said, let me try your question on you. You believe the universe created you. So if your question is valid, let me ask you it. Who created your creator? I've waited 10 years and got no answer to that.
Can God be examined? Probably not. God revealed himself to us in Jesus Christ, and he said in John 8, verse 58, before Abraham was, I am.
I can't believe that any God who cared a bit about human beings would have invented a world which allowed hemorrhoids. So I think if you're going to get into design, then you've got to take the rough with the smooth, as it were.
Hemorrhoids are the just consequence of an unhealthy lifestyle. There's always a way out if a person is willing to change. It is the same as saying that because the human body is not eternal, its design therefore is flawed. Nobody can say that, because nobody knows what ultimate purpose God had when created somebody, because not everyone is the same. Thank you everyone for watching. I love watching these debates, largely because they reaffirm my Christian faith and show me how limited and conflicting the other side is. Please subscribe, it will mean a lot to me. God bless you.